With a little Hine Matov on page 128. So please go ahead and join us if you'd like. Hine Matovu Manayim Shevet Akim Gam Yakad. Hine Matovu Manayim Shevet Akim Gam Yakad. Hine Matov Shevet Akim Gam Yakad. Hine Matov Shevet Akim Gam Yakad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Akim Gam Yakad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Akim Gam Yakad. Good evening, everybody. Shabbat Shalom at the temple. Shabbat Shalom to our friends out on Zoom. Gosh, I wish I could see your faces. Hopefully, I think we know everybody, but in case you don't know us, we're the Malkins. I'm Roberta.
I'm Dave.
And thank you for being either on Zoom or with us tonight here in the sanctuary. A couple things I wanted to say before we got started. I wanted to take a moment to thank our VP of Religious Practices, Sherry Meyer, for coordinating the lay-led services. She does so much, and she added this to her laundry list of things. I'm doing this, of course, in Robin Ash's absence. Robin had this role for many years, and I've been thinking about her a lot as we've been preparing for services tonight. Dave and I have both had the honor of leading services with Robin. And one of the things she always instilled in me was she always wanted to do more. She always wanted to add more because Shabbat was so important to her. Her Judaism was always so important to her, as we all know, that no one loved her. So the focus tonight for me, for us, is to move up and out, to move out of your comfort zone and learn in the process. So I wanted to just sprinkle in a couple of quotes that I found, just to kind of get you thinking about moving out of your comfort zone. We've done this for several years. It's always, it's like, okay, we're going to get ready, we're going to do it, but it takes a lot of preparation, and it's not something that we do often. So it is kind of getting out of our comfort zones. So one of the quotes I wanted to read tonight was, do one thing every day that scares you, and that's from Eleanor Roosevelt. For some, and she's somebody that I've always admired. This is another one by a gentleman named Mano Aurora. He's an author. Be like a duck, paddling and working very hard inside the water, but what everyone sees is a smiling and calm face. I thought that was really good. So we're going to get started. Well, we have gotten started already, but I'd like to invite my good friend Mary Ann Gooden to come up and bring in the lights of Shabbat. And if you would please rise and turn to page 120 in your Siddur. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'har l'ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has commanded us to kindle the Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, my dear friend. Shabbat Shalom. We'd like to continue in the service on page
121.
121, and I'd like to have you all read this together with us on the bottom of it. O source of light.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and into our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Okay, now I'd like you to turn to page 124 and together at the bottom of the bottom of page 124 to say, "May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May the synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life." Okay, so now we're going to go to Welcome the Sabbath Bride, and on page 138, the Lakadodi. And we'll be doing verses 1, 2, 5, and then we'll stand up and face the entrance of our sanctuary to welcome the Sabbath Bride. 138. Lekadodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nikabela. 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 Shamor v'zakor b'dibur echad, Hishmianu el hamukad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem tiferet l'tfilah. Lekadodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nikabela. Lekadodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lelchuvenecha, Ki hi mekor abraka, Merosh mekedem nesuka, So ma'aset nepatzas atchila. Lekadodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nikabela. Lekadodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nikabela. Hitoreri, Kiva ore, Kumi ori, Uri, Shir daberi, Kivod anar nikila. Lekadodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nikabela. Lekadodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nikabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'to'ola, To emune am segula, Boi kala. Lekadodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nikabela. Lekadodi likrat kala, Pene Shabbat nikabela. Please be seated. Okay, so let me throw in a few more little ditties that I found. This was from Ray Lewis, the former professional football player. Before anything great is really achieved, your comfort zone must be disturbed. I thought that was a very good one. And then another one from the man I was talking about earlier, Maho. Coming out of your comfort zone is tough in the beginning, chaotic in the middle, and awesome in the end, because in the end, it shows you a whole new world. Okay, if you would please rise for the Hatsi Kaddish on page 144.
Yitkadal v'yiskadash, Shemer
Amen.
Biamadi v'rakute v'mikmalkute, v'chaye kon uv'yom kon, u'chaye b'kol beit Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, Uvitzman Kari, Vivaru, Amen. Yeheshme Rabba Mevora, Le'alam Amon Me'omaya, Yitbarak, Yitbarak, Vishtabar, V'yamar, V'yamar, V'naseh, V'yitada, V'yitalel, V'yitalel, Shemedi Kudisha, Brechu, Le'elam Min Kol B'shata V'yushrata, Tusvikata V'nekemata, Namiram Yaman, Vimaru, Amen.
Please stay standing for the Baruchu on page 146. Baruchu et Adonai, Hamivora. Baruch Adonai, Hamivora, Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. Okay, now I would like for us to, on the bottom of page 148, together in English with us, blessed are you. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the season, and arranges the stars in the heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from night, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Zeva'ot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Haravim. Please turn to page 150 as we sing Avat Olam. This is this is one of the things Robin and Rabbi has also said to me to talk about what these prayers mean. And this is the Revelation prayer and how God loves us and gave us Torah, and how Robin did love Torah, as we all know. Avat Olam. Avat Olam. Beit Israel, Am Kavavta, Torah u'mitzvot, u'kim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadita, Otanu limadita. Al-Kin Adonai Eloheinu b'shabenu, Kumenu nasir b'kutecha, V'dishma b'direi Toroteka, U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, Ve'orek yameinu, Uvahem negei yolam v'layla, Negei yolam v'layla, Ve'afat al tasir, Mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Israel. Please rise for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed.
Please be seated. Okay. So now I'd like for us to chant together on the bottom of page 154. You shall love your God. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Take to heart these instructions which I charge you this day. Impress them on your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments, and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohim Emet. Okay, so let me add one more that I found that I thought was really good. This is from Dale Carnegie. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. I know that's been kind of hard lately, but even simple things, I think it's important to get out and get busy. Okay, so now we're going to move on to, where are we? Mikamoka, right? Yep. 158. So please sing along with us for Mikamoka. Mikamoka Ba'eli Madonai, Mikamoka Nerdaba Kodesh, Nora Tehilot, O Sefele, Nora Tehilot, O Sefele, Malkute Kara Uvaneka, Okay, I am Lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Zeli Anu V'Amru, Adonai Yimlok, Adonai Yimlok, Le'olam Va'ed. Amen. So now we're going to move into Hashkivenu. This is the prayer of shelter. And it's lovely to see when we have people here, and we've, in the past, the talit's out, and I can just, as saying that, I'm thinking of some wonderful memories of sheltering people that became my friends over the years, and it's a lovely tradition that we do. So we don't have the words in the book, but it's a one that we've sang for many years. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'amidenu Malkinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomeka, ufros aleinu sukat shlomeka. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right. Amen. 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 Okay, so now we're going to move to page 162 and do the Vishamru on the very top of the page. And this is the joy of practicing Shabbat. This is, and as many of you know that have been here for many years, this is a song where kids are jumping up when we do Vishamru. Yes, huh? And we won't be having me do that tonight, but it's always fun to see them. Vishamru v'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat Latzot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat Latzot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. B'nei b'nei Israel, oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru v'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, latzot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheish yasamim asa Adonai, Asa Adonai et Hashemayim et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat latzot et ha-Shabbat b'toratam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'hi nefesh, Shabbat v'hi nefesh, Shabbat v'hi nefesh v'shamru v'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat latzot et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam berit olam. Okay, thank you for joining us tonight, both on Zoom and in the sanctuary. It's lovely to hear all your voices. We're now going to be entering the central portion of our service, Tefillah. So if you would please rise as we face the ark. Again, this is going to be the 3 steps back, 3 steps forward as we begin the Tefillah, and silent reading until 178 with the Ritzei.
Adonai tifta tifta ufia gita hilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohim Motenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Raquel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Haniborno Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezoher Sasirvot Animaot, Umegulav Livnei Lehem, Lemashimo Be'ava, Melech Ozira Mashiach Nakim. Baruch atah Adonai, Magim Abraham, Ezra Sarah. Atah Gibor L'Mol Adonai, Mekayeh HaKol Arushia. Morid Hatal, Mekokel Kayim Blekesed. Mekayeh Mekol Bera'amim Rabim. So Meknofim Ve'orekolim, Umatir Asurim. Umekayeh emunato l'shenei afar michamocha bal guverot umidom elak melech memi umekayeh umatzmi et Yeshua v'nema hakol Baruch atah Adonai mekayeh hakol atah kadosh v'simcha kadosh Ukoshim b'choyum u'asera, Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amka Yisrael, Utefilatam bi'ara tikabel, Utehile ratzon, Tamid avodat Yisrael, Israel Ameka. Baruch atah Adonai she'oteka levadecha ba'irad navod navod navod.
Parshat Maseh. This week's Parshat is titled Maseh, which means journey, or as the Torah describes it, leaving Egypt. The Torah names all 42 encampments of Bnei Yisrael on their 40-year journey from the Exodus until the crossing of the Jordan River into Eretz Yisrael. Moshe and Aaron were charged with leading the children of Israel by the commandment of God. Moshe recorded the Israelites' itinerary from the Exodus until their arrival at the plains of Moab. In the 14th year of the Exodus, Aaron was called to Mount Or by God, where he passed away at the age of 123. Rabbi Yisrael ben Eliezer, a 16th century rabbi, also known as the Baal Shem Tov, which means master of the good name, states that the journeys represent 42 major experiences in the life of every Jew, from the day of birth till death. The Baal Shem Tov explains the journey in the following way. First, why does the Torah describe the 42 journeys as leaving Egypt, when only the first was from Egypt, the other 41 were approaching Israel? The 42 journeys represent 42 levels, one above the other, of leaving one's limitations and becoming a new person through teshuvah, to perform acts that bring you closer to God. Second, there were many journeys that were bad, where the Jews sinned with manna and where they sinned with the women of Moab. The Baal Shem Tov explains that teshuvah has the power to transform negative events into good, so even the bad journeys become positive. The Jewish faith believes that all the world is balanced between acts of good and acts of bad. Third, why is this portion called journeys, when the journey was a way to get from one encampment to the other? The Baal Shem Tov explains, even though the encampments are important, the main thing is the journeys, the constant drive to always move and do more to improve ourselves and the world around us. This is why Jews are always looking for ways to do mitzvahs, to please not only themselves, but also Hashem. I'd like to share with you one story told by the Baal Shem Tov. Shiraga Farber was a wealthy businessman and a bit of a Torah scholar, but he scoffed at the Hasidim. Nevertheless, although he made fun of every Baal Shem Tov story he heard, nothing inside him told him that he must travel to Mezbaz, where the Baal Shem Tov lived, and see for himself. It was a 2-day trip, but when he finally arrived and secured a private meeting with the Baal Shem Tov, he was anything but impressed. the man that everyone called the great holy Tzaddik, looked and acted pretty much like everyone else. It didn't take long until he decided that he'd been right all along. There was nothing for him here. He waited for a pause in conversation, stood up, shook his hand, thanked him for this time, and explained that he had to catch a train. The Baal Shem Tov escorted him to the door, gave him a blessing that he find a good job in a new house, handed him a sealed letter, and asked him if he would please do him a favor and deliver it next time he visited Minsk. That's weird, the rich man thought to himself as the door was closing behind him. Why did he bless me with a job in a house? He looked at the letter and saw it was addressed to Mr. Samuels, the mayor of the Jewish sector of Minsk. He slipped it into his pocket and chuckled uneasily to himself. What does he think I am, his postman? As he walked quietly to his train station. A few days later, he arrived back home, but he put the letter on a shelf and promptly forgot about the entire matter. 20 years had passed. The Baal Shem Tov had passed away. Mr. Farber had aged a bit, and his luck had taken a turn for the worse. He was no longer the self-confident, wealthy man of years ago. Financial setback after setback had brought him to the point of actually selling the furniture in his house to salvage something from his foreclosed mortgage. As he was moving a cabinet, suddenly he noticed a letter that fell to the ground. He picked it up and began weeping. It was the letter the Baal Shem Tov had given him to deliver 20 years ago. Don't weep, his wife comforted him. The Hasidim say it is never too late. I think you should travel to Minsk and deliver the letter. Perhaps the mayor is still alive. Maybe your luck will change. A week later, he arrived in the Jewish quarter of Minsk to find the streets decorated for festivity. 100 tables were set with fruit and cakes. A small band was tuning up, and a huge banner was tied to opposite sides of the street saying, Mazel Tov, Mayor Samuels. A new mayor was being sworn in. Mr. Farber asked to meet the new mayor and was directed to a well-dressed man. Mr. Samuels, congratulations. I have a letter for your father, the previous mayor, from the Baal Shem Tov. My father, asked Mr. Samuels as he took the letter from the holy Baal Shem Tov, but my father was not the previous mayor. The previous mayor was named Blumfeld, and the mayor before him was named Goldman. He opened the letter and it read, Dear Mr. Samuels, Mazel Tov on your appointment as mayor. The man standing before us, honest and intelligent, he was once very wealthy and successful. Please make use of him and provide him with an income and a house. I guarantee that you will not be disappointed. Sincerely, Yisrael Baal Shem Tov. How could the Baal Shem Tov know that Mr. Farber would become poor and forget the letter until the inauguration day of the new mayor 20 years later? One of the explanations is that everyone's soul goes through the 42 journeys, even if it takes several incarnations. And the Baal Shem Tov was able to see all these journeys before they happened. Leaving Egypt means constantly leaving boundaries, even the spiritual levels acquired just the day before. We all have our own unique stories as we journey through life. Our common journey is coming to Beth Shalom. And we say, Amen.
Thank you, honey. It was lovely, lovely. Okay. Okay, so now we're at the point of the service where we are going to be praying for those who are in need of healing. So we want to turn to page 371, and we're going to be praying for those in need of healing. So here is the list I have, and if, after I finish the list, if anybody in the sanctuary, Rick, if people on Zoom want to add, please let me know. So we're praying for Maggie Verano, Penny Clark, Janice Schulman, Ben Dan, John and Juliana Blue, Joe Domingalski, Arlen Opper, Sandy Lewin, John Noxon, Faith Gobetti, Laura Sender Lawrence, Bill Grisolia, is that how that's pronounced, Rick? Grisolia, thank you, and Victoria Yolbrick. Anybody in the sanctuary? I'm sorry, over here, I'm sorry. Anybody here? No? Marianne?
Mary Jane Northridge Craig, Carol Sabruza.
Okay.
Tim Aston,
Okay.
Rebecca Rutherford, Tony Maynard, Sabrina Swanson, Marcus Batat.
Joel? Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So please join me on page 371 for Misha Bera. Misha Bera avotenu makor habraka lavotenu. Be the source of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebera imotenu, Makor abraka lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Okay, so we're moved to the time in the service where we're going to ask our friends the Adlers to come up and read the announcements for tonight, and we also want to thank them, and looks like Meryl Shader and Paul Sieve for doing the One for tonight. So thank you in person to you guys.
Good Shabbos, everybody.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom. Well, we start right with the mask policy. CBS is reinstating the COVID mask policy. N95s, KN95s, or KF94s are preferred, and they're required to be worn by all individuals to and over, regardless of the vaccination status at all times and while you're on the premises. CBS still requires that all attendees at CBS in-person events, including school participation for Neshama students, be vaccinated and boosted and free from COVID symptoms. Thank you, Roberta and Dave, Malkin.
Thank you.
And for leading tonight's service. Thank you to Cheryl Shader and Paul Sieve and my wife and I. We're sponsoring the Zoom, not the Zoom, the Onig tonight. Rick is over there doing the Zoom. Join us for Torah study tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Zoom with Roberta Malkin facilitating. The link is on the CBS website. There will be no choir rehearsal this coming week, Wednesday, August 3rd. Rehearsals will resume again on Wednesday, August 10th at 6:30 p.m. Join us for next week's Shabbat service, which will be at an earlier time at 6 p.m., led by Sherry and David Meyer, in person and on Zoom. Next week's Torah study is on Zoom and facilitated by Sherry Meyer. The link is on the CBS website. Our anonymous donor is making yet another challenge to encourage Teruma gifts to CBS during the month of August. For any friend, congregant, supporter of CBS who has not yet given to Teruma on a contribution for this fiscal year, and that's since July 1st, 2022, when you make your first Teruma contribution of $50 or more between August 1st and August 31st, the contribution will be matched dollar for dollar up to $100 by our anonymous donor. Please encourage your friends and family to support our congregation, and if they have not yet joined as members, to request an application. The food fair is on its way. Sunday, September 18, 2022, that's the pickup date. CBS Annual Food Fair is now on a platform on a website, so go to the CBS website and look that up. And it's a big round CBS Food Fair logo. It says 45 on it, Food Fair, got a bagel. You can't really miss it. Please help us make this year one of the most successful years by volunteering. We need lots of help in the kitchen. There are plenty of areas for everybody to help out. Baking, packing, delivering. Various times and days are available on this wonderful thing called Sign Up Genius. It's on the website. So please look it up. If you have questions or need assistance for signing up or volunteering for Food Fair, contact Jenny Jeffries at administrator@cbsshalom.org. Sponsorship opportunities are available for Food Fair. Support CBS long after Food Fair is gone, and it will honor our major donors and sponsors whose names will be included on the back of our custom designed all cotton t-shirts. They will be sold through the website. Any individual sponsoring at a level of $500 or above will also be listed on the back of the t-shirt. All submissions must be received no later than August 1st of this year to be included on the t-shirt. Please submit your logos and intent to sponsor to administrator@cbsshalom.org. I'm almost done here. Mark your calendars for our Welcome Back barbecue. Welcoming back the rabbi from vacation, Friday, August 19th. Join us for dinner at 6 o'clock, followed by services at 7 to welcome back our rabbi. Reconnect with friends, meet new friends. You can also RSVP through the website. Last things, here we go. The Sacramento Jewish Film Festival has started selling passes for 2 Israeli TV miniseries. The Conductor in September and Muna is in October. Both of the TV miniseries include amazing ensembles and Israeli best actors. Okay, this is really the finale now. Finally, did you know you can shop at Amazon and give tzedakah to CBS? For your purchase to be eligible, you must sign in on Amazon Smile, enter smileamazon.com on your browser, or activate Amazon Smile on your Amazon shopping app. Simply add Congregation Beth Shalom as the charitable organization. It is that simple, and I'm done. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Elliot. Thank you so much. You reminded me I need to RSVP for that picnic. I'm looking forward to seeing the rabbi. And also the t-shirt. I got to get a t-shirt. I like the Best Shalom t-shirts. Okay. So we're now to Elenu, page 586. Please rise for Elenu.
Shabbat Liadon Hako, Later
Lo Bereshit, Shelo Asanu Giro Haratzon, Velo Samanu Kishkako Hamaman, Shelo Sam Kokenu Kayem, Vego Relenu Kiko Hamonan, Vanaknu Korim, Umiskatamin Umodim, Livne Melech Malke Hamakim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Shehu note shamayim v'yoshi haaretz, u'Moshe v'karo b'shamayim ima'al, u'shina tuzo, v'go v'meromim, u'Eloheinu v'enod, el melkeinu efetzuato, kakatu v'torato v'yadat hayom, v'hashivota, El Babeka, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, B'Shamayim Mima'al, V'Hal Haaretz, Mitachad Edo, V'Ne'emar, V'Haya Adonai, L'Melech Al Kol Haaretz, Bayom Hahu. Hayom hahu, Iye Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad. Please be seated. Okay, we're at the time in our service. We think of our loved ones who death has recently taken from us, and we also think of those who have died in seasons past. Please rise to honor those you know. We remember the recent deaths of Ethan Nava, Bernard Elliott Esralu, Judith Spivak, Bill McDonald, Alan Blickstein, Carol Trachtenberg, Daniel Yosby, Jean Rubin, Sarah Lipson, Karina Blue, Robin Ash, Ricky Joe Miller, Victor Gabriel, Etta Brody, Jen Garcia, Mark Kane, Amin Lustig, Carl Saperstein, Bob Unger, Bill Jenkins, and Linda Clark. And we also remember the yard sites of the following: Albert Buren, Marion Selma Blumberg, Myrtle Brewer, Emmy Brommett, Dr. Harry E. Cantor, Julie DeBevoise, Belle Fried, Elsa Gardner, Bernice Glassmeyer, Ida Hyman, Vera Karakin, Sheila Hartfeld Parrish, Eileen Slanoff, Peter H. Vollmer, Jack Weiss, Rose Young, and Rose C. Zareff. Are there any other recent deaths or yard sites? Yes.
Leah Plum Abraham.
Rick on Zoom. We rise for victims of illness, disease, and acts of violence not of their making. Oh, I'm sorry. Was there?
Estelle Baum and Josh Maynard.
Thank you. So we rise for victims of illness, disease, and acts of violence not of their own making. We rise for our 6 million. Page 598. Yitgadal, Yitgadal, Shemei Rabbah. De'alma divra kute, yamik mal kute, ve'kayin kon, yomei kon, Ukae Beko Bet Israel, Bagala Mitzran Kari Viru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabban Mevarak Alam Almei Almaya. Yit Barak Vishtaba Vit Nepar Vit Naman Vit Nase. Vit Hadar Vit Talel Vit Talal Shemeda Kudisha Breku. Leim Lam Ben Kol Berkata Tu Sharata. Tush Bekata Benekamata. Dami Ram Yaman Viru Amen. Yehesh Lama Rabba Mishemaya. Bakainu Lenu Berko Israel. Viru Amen. Ose Shalom Berama. Uyase Shalom. Alenu Berko Israel. Viru Amen. Vikranam Livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. Please be seated. All right, Mr. Malkin, we did it. We're almost done. We're on the final stretch here. Thank you for always doing this with me. Actually, this year, as soon as Sherry Meyer had sent out the list asking for people, and as I say that also, if you're ever interested in doing this, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. Sherry would be more than happy to talk to you. It's really been a wonderful experience, you know. And as I say that too, Robin has been one of the first people I met here. She was with me when I sat through my Beidin. She helped me learn to say Baruch with my because I'm not do that very well. So I do this for her. I've always done this for her, and now I'm doing this in her honor because we never want to forget her. We can't forget her. She's just a linchpin of our community, and I sorely miss her. So we do this for her. As soon as the list went out to get people on it, he knew the one he wanted to do. He was working on his Devar Day 1, so he's an inspiration. So thank you for doing this. So we're going to close out tonight on page 180 with Oseh Shalom, and then are we in the foyer, or are we, okay, so we'll be in the foyer for One. We would love to see you there, people on Zoom. I miss you. I hope you enjoyed the service tonight, and so again, page 180. Oseh Shalom Bimroma, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Yisrael, Viru, Viru, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'akol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'yakol Israel. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom, everybody on Zoom.